Hi, Sheridan College. This is Alex Goslin here. I use pronouns she and her, and I'll be guiding you through a 45-minute yoga flow practice today. So thank you again for Sheridan for having me again this week. You can get set up by just setting up a mat if you have one, or if not, just grab a blanket, something soft that you can do your practice on today. In particular, we'll be spending some time on all fours. It might be nice to have a blanket to place under the knees for your comfort. As well, if you have a block's a nice prop to have for our practice today. The purpose of the block is to just bring the ground a little closer to us. So if you don't have a block, just use anything that's going to help lift the ground a little bit. This could be a chair, it could be a pillow that you have, it could be a book that you stand upright, absolutely anything. Apart from that, our practice today is meant to be accessible for all levels of practice, so I'll be sure to give lots of options for today. I'm hoping to do a little bit of strength work today, so upper body strengthening, especially the back body, as well as strengthening a little bit in the glutes to help support us when we're spending all that time sitting. So yeah, that's our plan for today. And just a gentle reminder that there's also an opportunity here to win a $50 gift certificate. So during this practice, at some point, do make sure to snap a photo, tag the SSU for a chance to win $50. So we're going to get started in a seated position. So you're welcome to make your way to your mat. If you have a block or if you have a pillow, sometimes it's nice to take a seat on that object just to help elevate the hips and let the knees come away from the hips. For some folks, they might feel more comfortable with the knees forward. That's going to be my recommendation for today. This is called hero pose. But if knees forward doesn't feel comfortable for you, feel free instead to cross the legs. Now, once you're here in your seat, just notice what you notice. Notice how your body's making contact with the ground. Rooting down through your sit bones, just gently start to reach up through the crown of your head. And then as you do this, let the shoulders come away from the ears. Gentle opening through the chest, aligning the back of the head with the back of your pelvis. If it's comfortable, you may choose to close the eyes, or alternatively, you might just maintain a soft focus in front of you. The palms might be face up if you need some more energy today, or if you prefer, maybe palms are facing down. And just use this moment to reconnect with your breathing. Notice that you're breathing. Perhaps this is your first moment of conscious breath today. Just taking a moment of gratitude for that. Inhaling through your nose if that's available to you. And exhaling again through the nose. And as you're breathing here, just acknowledging that your breath doesn't need to be fancy, it doesn't need to be deep. Just notice that you're breathing. And if it's helpful, you might choose to anchor your attention to one single point of focus. Wherever the breath is most vivid, this might be at the nose, the chest, or the belly. And see if you can maintain your attention toward that singular point of focus. It's very common during our mindful breathing practice that the mind wanders. So just noticing if that happens and bringing your attention back. Once you're ready, let's bring the hands toward the heart center, thumbs towards the sternum, slight tuck of the chin. The invitation is to take a moment, again, for gratitude. Thank yourself for making it to this practice today. And taking a moment to ask yourself what you need from our time together on the mat. Let a word or a short sentence come to mind. And then silently repeating that intention to yourself 3 times. As you're ready, let's open our practice with 3 big breaths together. Begin by exhaling, taking a cleansing in-breath, and then let it go. Good. 2 more like that. Inhale, and let it go. Last one. Inhale, and let it go. If your eyes are closed, you're welcome to blink them open. Great. Welcome to those of you who are joining us. We're going to start our practice again once more in a seated position, so feel free to adjust your seat just a little bit. As I mentioned, knees forward to start our practice today is what I'm recommending, but if this isn't comfortable for you, feel free to cross the legs. From here, let's just start with a little bit of opening through the chest. So let's take the hands behind the back. If it's available to you, interlacing the fingers, or alternatively, you can hook the thumbs together. And just inhale, just lift your heart. Good. Try not to arch too much in the low back, so keep the ribs pulled in. Your head might lift and gaze up towards the sky. Good. Just breathe here for another 5. For 4. Squeeze your shoulder blades together for 3. 2, and 1. Slowly letting it go. Take the left hand toward the outside of your hip. Inhale, let the right arm rise. Just let the right shoulder drop away from the ear, and then exhale, side bend toward the left. Maybe gaze spins upwards. Good. Inhale, halfway. And then exhale, side bend again to the left. And inhale. And exhale. Good. One more inhale. And exhale to stay. Good. Your left hand might flatten towards the earth, maybe a little micro bend in that left elbow. Root down through your right hip bone, making a nice big C shape on that right side body. Breathe into the right side body, in between the ribs, all the way from the top of the hip out through that pinky finger. Good. As you're ready, inhale, let's come back through center. Right hand comes towards the outside of the right hip, left arm rises, let the left shoulder drop away from the ear, and then exhale, side bend toward the right. Inhale to come back through center, and then exhale. Good. One more like that. Inhale, and exhale. Good. So pausing here for a moment, a little bend in that right elbow, and then just think about spinning the chest up towards the sky. The gaze might follow. And again, use your breath here. With every in-breath, we're breathing space into the left side body, and then on your exhale, settling and softening a little bit more into the shape. Good. On an in-breath, let's come back through center. Good. And then on your exhale, let's find child's pose. So reach the arms in front of you. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears, and then bow the head down. Now, but depending how much space you have, for some folks, you might choose to get rid of your block if you're sitting on one. If you have any low back pain, squeezing the thighs together might help to release the lumbar spine a little bit. Or alternatively, you may find it more comfortable to instead spread the knees apart, bring the big toes to touch. And just taking a moment here, just to reconnect with breath. And a gentle reminder that at any point in our practice today, if your body's asking you for a break, if it's asking you for rest, The invitation is to listen to that and give yourself permission to take this shape at any point. All right, let's take one more big breath here. All right, and then as you're ready, start to press through the finger pads, lifting the elbows off the ground, and then walk the hands back. Let's make our way to a tabletop position. Good. In your tabletop form, you have your wrists just underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips, your gaze is downward, spine is long, slight tuck of the tailbone. Good, ribs are pulled in. And then from here, let's shift the weight forward. Bring the shoulders just over top of the wrists, and then exhale to come back. Good, so this is a very gentle movement, just warming up the wrists a little bit for some weight bearing. And then as you're ready, shifting the weight, this time side to side. So bring the shoulders over the wrists and just start moving side to side. Good, just noticing what you notice. Try not to lock your elbows here. A little micro bend in the elbows. Good, and let's come back to our neutral tabletop position. This time shift the weight forward, shoulders are over top of the wrists. Firm up your core, pull the ribs in, and then on your exhale, send your elbows straight back, engage the upper back muscles, come down halfway. Ooh. Inhale to press up, and then exhale back to child's pose. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, come forward. Coming into a modified plank, strong core. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together as you come down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, back. Good. Inhale, forward. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, press up. And exhale, back. Good. Take a couple breaths here. Give your wrists a little bit of a break. Maybe in your child's pose, you're just rotating the wrists, giving them a little bit of love. Good. And then once you're ready, let's come back to our tabletop form. Good. So let's bring a little bit more strength into this shape. So for some folks, it might feel good to just use the flow that we were just doing. If you want to add a little bit more, perhaps you choose instead to come into a plank. So coming up onto the toe mounts, if you're in your plank, shoulders over the wrists, strong core, ribs are pulled in. The biggest thing I notice in this shape is sometimes when folks come forward, they tend to drop your hips. So try not to do that. Try to stay strong in the core. So inhale to come forward. Good. Exhale, bend the elbows, come down halfway. Always the option to drop the knees. Good. Inhale, press up. And then exhale, child's pose. Ooh. Good. Two more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, this time downward facing dog. Ooh. Good. So pedal the feet out, rock the hips from side to side. Press down through your finger pads, lift the tailbone up. Don't worry too much in your downward facing dog if your legs are straight. I'd actually encourage you to take a nice big bend in the knees and instead focus on a long spine. Good. From here, let's drop the knees. Good, and we're going to come up onto the shins. So walk the hands back, coming up onto the shins. If you have a blanket, this is a really nice time to place the blanket under the knees. From here, let's take the right foot out towards the side of your mat. Okay, you're looking for that right toe to be in line with the left knee. I'm going to give you the front-facing view. Okay, right toe's in line with the left knee. Left knee is just underneath the left hip bone. Take your hands to your hips. Gently press the hips forward. Knit your ribs in. Good. So the core is strong. Kneecap is lifted on that right side, really strong in that right leg. On your inhale, let your left arm rise. Drop the left shoulder from the ear. And then exhale, side bend toward the right. Good. If you want to get into the side of the neck here, maybe your gaze turns down, chin towards right shoulder. Good. Breathe here for 3. Keep pressing the hips forward for 2. and 1. Inhale, let's spin back through center. And then from here, you're gonna take your left hand, drop it just underneath your left shoulder. So if you need that little riser, your book or your block, you might place it underneath that left shoulder. Right arm lifts. Good. Now from here, we're stacking the shoulders. So try to get the shoulders behind the ears, keep your ribs pulled in. You can stay here, or if you'd like, maybe you float that right leg up. Good. If this is still feeling like enough, you can stay here, or maybe you make little circles with that right heel. Breathe here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come all the way back through center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Good, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Good, inhale, let the right leg rise. Good, and then on your exhale, bend your right knee, open your right hip bone, but try to keep the shoulders square. So I'm not opening through that right arm. I'm really hugging the right shoulder down. My gaze is just between where the thighs would be if both feet were on the ground. Okay, my right heel's reaching towards that right glute. My ribs are pulled in. Good, breathe here. And then as you're ready, drop that right foot down. Let's drop the knees back down toward the mat. And then walk the hands towards the shins. Let's come all the way up. Beautiful. Let's gear up for the opposite side. So again, I'll give you the front-facing view. You're going to send the left foot out this time towards the left side of your mat. And your left big toe is now in line with the right knee. Hands to hips to start. Press the hips forward, strong in the core, so knit the ribs in. From here, left kneecap is lifting, so you got your quads engaged. Inhale, right arm lifts, drop the right shoulder from the ear, and then exhale, side bend toward the left. Good. There's usually a little bit of a difference between left and right, so don't worry too much about that. Not forcing the body into any position it's not ready for. And not placing any weight on that left hand. It's just sort of kind of perched here for a little bit of balance, but there's no pressure on the knee. Good. On your next in-breath, come back through center. This time, right hand comes underneath the right shoulder. Good. If you have a block, feel free to use it. And then left arm lifts. So notice how my left shoulder is kind of coming forward. Try to stack the shoulders as if you could squeeze your shoulder blades together, getting both shoulders behind the ears. You can stay here if you'd like, getting a nice stretch here in the left side body, especially with the QL, the muscles that help us come up and down stairs. Maybe you lift that left foot off the ground if that's preferred. Good, and if the left foot is lifted, see if you can flex the toes. You're going to feel your glutes working here. Stay here, or maybe make those little tiny circles, like you're making a golf ball shape with the base of that heel. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's come all the way back through center. Bring the hands down, send the hips up and back, find downward facing dog. Good. On your next inhale, left leg lifts. Good, and then exhale, bend the knee, open the hips, but keep the shoulders square. So the highest point in this shape is my knee, as best as you can. You might feel an opening here on that left hip flexor. The heel's reaching towards the glutes, shoulders are strong. Good, breathe here for another 3. Good, and then as you're ready, left foot comes down. Good, and just notice the effects of that work on your body already. And then shift your gaze towards your hands. Plant the finger pads down. Start to walk the feet towards the hands. Good. On an in-breath, slide the hands up your shins or thigh. Find flat back. Your shoulders are about as high as your hips. Good, and then exhale, fold forward. Good, root down through the feet. On an in-breath, let's rise all the way up. Press the hips forward, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, so we're in our standing mountain form. This is also called Tadasana. Spread your toes nice and wide. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Proud chest, but your ribs are knitted, so they're pulled inward. Good. From here, inhale, let the arms rise up. Good. And then on your exhale, let's fold forward. Inhale to find flat back. Good. And then on your exhale, plant your palms, send your left foot all the way back, and then drop the knee. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up. We're in a low lunge. Your shoulders are over top of your hips. Your tailbone is tucking under. Okay, so it's like your tailbone's trying to reach forward. Good. From here, bring your hands to heart center. Press down through your right foot and drag that right foot back. What you're going to feel is your right glutes start to activate. And then from here, without changing the lower body at all, using the strength of your core, let's twist towards the right. Good. Drop your shoulders from your ears. Good. And then from here, if it's available to you, you could stay here or tuck the back toes under and maybe you pop that back knee off the ground. Good. Wherever you are, extend the arms away from one another. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale here. And then exhale, lift the left arm, let the right arm reach back, reverse. Good. Inhale, cartwheel the hands on either side of that. Lift the heart. And then on your exhale, slide the right foot back. And let's come all the way down to the mat. Shift straight forward, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, let's come all the way down. Good. Take the hands down by the hips. Palms are facing downward. Press the tops of the feet into your mat. And then inhale, lift your heart. Good. Maybe you squeeze the thighs together, lift the feet. Maybe the hands float off the mat. Spin the thumbs up towards the sky. Breathe here for 3, 4, 2, and 1. Good. Slide the hands down by the low ribs. Press back. Find a child's pose. Breathe here for 3 breaths. It's a really lovely time to reconnect with your intention. Reconnect with what brought you to practice today. And then once you're ready, let's rise back up into a downward facing dog. Good. Again, press through the finger pads, lift up through the tailbone. A little bend in the knees is okay. And then shift your gaze towards your hands and start to walk the feet towards the hands. On an in-breath, slide the hands up the shins. Let shoulders come as high as the shoulders, or shoulders come as high as the hips, I should say. And then exhale, fold. Root down to the feet, let the arms rise up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here in your Tadasana to reset. Really screw the feet into the ground, feel the outer glutes activate. Ribs pull in, shoulders are back, proud chest. Inhale, let the arms sweep up. And then on your exhale, dive forward. Inhale for flat back. And then exhale to plant the palms. This time the right foot will step all the way back, dropping the knee. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Good, find your low lunge. Tuck your tailbone under, lengthening the right hip flexors this time. And then you're pressing down through the left foot, dragging that left foot back. So the foot's not going to move, but by kind of pressing down and dragging back, you're turning on your hamstrings, we're turning on the glutes. Good, and then once you're ready, hands to heart center without changing anything in the low body, using just the ribs up, let's twist towards the left. Notice if the shoulders are caving in. Try to keep them shoulder blades squeezed together. Good. Now you can stay here, or maybe you tuck the back toes under, pop the ground. Now when you do this, just make sure that that left knee isn't caving in or out. Okay, nice and strong. And then wherever you are, spread the yoga. Good. And then lift that right arm up, left arm back. Good. 2 breaths here. And as you're ready, cartwheel the hands on either side of the left foot. Inhale to lift your heart. Good. Exhale, find a plank. Good. Make your way all the way down to the mat. Options to drop the knees. Good. Hands down by the hips, palms facing down. Inhale, lift your heart. Drop your shoulders from the ears and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. Squeeze the thighs together. Maybe the feet float off the ground. Maybe the hands come off the ground and thumbs spin up. Breathe here for another 3, 4, 2, and 1. Good. As you're ready, hands down by the low ribs. Press back. Child's pose. Take 3 big breaths here. Just starting to notice the effects of the work on your body. Just know where you need to be, letting go of all the work that you just did. Good. And then once you're ready, you're welcome to lift your gaze from your child's pose and then make your way once more to a downward facing dog. Good. Now from here, bring the feet together. So the big toes to touch, squeeze the thighs, and then shift your gaze towards your hands. This time we're going to practice little hops. Now, something I want you to think about before you get into your little hops is what's happening with your shoulders. Make sure your armpits are hugging in. When your armpits are hugging in, you're going to feel the muscles just underneath the armpits here start to activate. Okay, our serratus anterior, the lats, we want them nice and strong. And then from here, we're going to take a nice big bend in the knees and then lift the hips, try to land soft. So let's try that a couple times. Walk the feet back, toes together, squeeze the thighs, strong core, strong shoulders. Little hop. Good, we'll do that one more time. Good. And then once you're ready, inhale, flat back. Good, exhale, fold. Good, root down through the feet, rise up. Press the hips forward, squeeze the glutes, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Now this time we're going to bring the big toes to touch. The heels are slightly apart, spread your toes really wide. It's a little bit of a different version of our Tadasana. And then from here, strong core, bend your knees, sweep your arms forward, and then bring the hands to heart center. Good, so we're in our Utkatasana. Now I'm going to give you the side view of your Utkatasana. When you're here, just try to be mindful that you're not tilting the tailbone up or tucking it too far under and rounding the spine. You want a long spine in your Utkatasana. When you're here, take a quick gaze down. Make sure you can see all 10 of your toes. Your weight is back through the heels. Engagement in the shoulder blades. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. Inhale here. Now keep the hips where they are. Exhale, twist towards the right. Woo. Good. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist towards the left. Good. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist towards the left. Good. One more time. Inhale through center. This time we're going to twist towards the right and we're going to pause. Now you can stay here, or if you'd like, if it's available to you, maybe the elbow comes down towards the outside of that right knee. Good. Now wherever you are, if the elbow caught the outside of that right knee, try not to let the left knee come forward. Keep both knees flushed. Again, it doesn't matter if the elbow comes towards the outside, it's just an option. And wherever you are, you're lifting the chest, thumbs towards the sternum. Good. Inhale, let's come back through center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the arms up, come all the way up to standing, and then exhale, hands come back through center. Beautiful. Now take a bend in both knees. This time we're going to send the left foot all the way back towards your mat. Turn the heel in 45 degrees. Heel to arch alignment or heel to heel. We're in a warrior two. Right arm is forward, left arm is back, shoulders over top of the hips. Now be mindful that that right knee isn't caving in or out. Press through that right big toe. Lift the arch of the foot. Feel your right glutes engaging. Good. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, flip your palm and reverse. Beautiful. Inhale, reach forward once more. This time straighten out that right leg. Drop right hand on the inside of that right thigh. Lift the left arm up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good. We're in our triangle. Breathe here. Really strong through both legs. So we're lifting the kneecap of the back leg. And instead of dumping the weight down, see if you can use the side body on that left side to lift you up. Good. Breathe here for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale all the way up. Turn both sets of toes now towards the left side of your mat. Options to interlace the hands behind the back, puff the chest, and on an exhale, fold forward. We're in a wide-legged forward fold. Good. So really soften the knees here. And we're looking for a nice stretch through the hamstrings, particularly between the knees and the hip bones. Now if this feels good, maybe you start to bring the weight towards the toe mounts, but your heels are still grounded. Lifting your tailbone up. And then wherever you are, let's bring the hands towards the earth. Take left hand underneath your heart. Use a block or use a book if you need to. Press down, reach the right arm up. Good. Exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale, left arm lifts. Good. Exhale down. Let's bring both hands back to the hips. Squeeze the elbows together, and then on an in-breath and with a strong core, let's come back up to standing. Inhale. Good. Exhale here. Good. Now we're going to do one balancing posture for today. So turn your right toes towards the top of your mat. Good. And then from here, take your left hand towards your hip. Now from here, slowly, mindfully, we're going to start to balance on that right foot. Good. Left leg is lifted, toes are flexed. Right hand's just kind of hanging out here. Now we're looking to stack shoulders, stack hips. And then slowly, slowly, maybe you hinge forward. Maybe you reach that right hand towards a block, or if it's available to you, towards the ground. We're in what's called half moon. Use your left glutes to lift that left leg. Maybe that left arm lifts. Breathe here as best as you can. Give yourself permission for those wobbles for another 3, 2, and 1. Left foot joins the right. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Root down to the feet, arms rise up. Beautiful. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Right away, opposite side. Squeeze the thighs together, big toes to touch, arms forward. Exhale, hands to heart center, Utkatasana. Good. Inhale, lift your heart. Good. Exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, left. Good. Inhale through center, weight through the heels. Exhale, right. Good. Inhale through center. Good. Exhale, left. This time we're going to hold. You can stay exactly as you are. Make sure that right knee isn't coming forward. Or if it's available to you, right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Breathe here for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale through center, and then fold. Root down through the feet. Inhale, rise up. Good. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. From here, bend the knees. This time, right foot comes all the way back. Turn the heel in, left arm forward, right arm back. Warrior 2. Shoulders over the hips. Make sure you can see the big toe of your left foot. Draw the ribs in, slight tuck of the tailbone. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale to flip the palm and reverse. Good. Your next inhale to reach forward. Straighten out that left leg. Tuck that left hip bone in. Left hand comes to the inside of the left thigh or the shin. Right arm lifts. From here, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lean back like you could be a two-dimensional figure. Good. And instead of dumping the weight down, imagine that that right hand is reaching for something, a piece of fruit, something that you almost can reach. For another 3, another 2, and 1. Inhale to rise up. Good. Exhale, interlace the hands. This time we're going to turn both sets of toes towards the right side of the mat. Okay, so I'm going to give you the front-facing view. So both toes towards the right side of the mat. Squeeze shoulder blades together, puff the chest. Good. And then on an exhale, fold forward. Breathing here, slowing things down a little bit. Weight is in your toe mounts. Lift the hip bones. Good. And then as you're ready, release the hands back down towards your mat, and then place the right hand underneath your heart, or maybe on a block. Inhale, let the left arm lift. Good. Find a little twist. Exhale, left hand comes down. Inhale, right arm lifts. Good. Exhale all the way back down. From here, let's bring the hands to the hips. Squeeze the elbows towards one another. Draw the ribs in, strong core, and then on an in-breath, come all the way back up to standing. Good. Okay, that last little bit of work here, we're going to get into our half moon. So from here, left toes now point towards the front of your mat. What I'd like you to think about here is sometimes it's really hard to externally rotate the hips. And when that happens, your left knee, might start to cave in. So to help avoid that, I want you to press through your big toe on the left foot. Try to fire up the left side glutes. Good. From here, right hand on your right hip bone, left arm's just going to reach forward. You could always use a block or a chair. And then take a little bend in that left knee, come to standing. Good, so start slow with this one. Strong back leg so that those right toes are flexed, the kneecaps lifted, and then we're slowly starting to hinge from the hip. Whew. So this is the side that I find more challenging for myself. Good, and then once you find your balance, think about lifting that back leg. You're going to feel right glutes working here. Stacking shoulders, stacking hips, maybe that right arm lifts. So it kind of feels similar to the triangle pose that we did earlier. Breathe here for another 3, 2, and 1. Right foot joins the left. Inhale for flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Root down to the feet. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Awesome. Let's make our way all the way down to the mat. So this one's a little bit of a tricky transition. We're going to do the best that we can. Bring the big toes to touch. Squeeze your thighs together. Let's start by finding one last chair pose. Good. And then from here, slowly start to lower the hips. Now, if you have any knee pain, if it doesn't feel so good for you, just come to a seat, however your body is asking you to. But if you'd like the added little bit of challenge today, and it feels okay for your body, let the hips come all the way down. Woo. And then from here, let's float the shins up. Find one boat pose. If you want, slide the hands under the thighs, puff the chest, or you might reach the arms forward. If you're feeling hardcore, maybe the arms come up overhead and you straighten the legs. I'm not going to do that. Breathe here for another 3, another 2, and 1. Slowly, let's let it all go. Come all the way down to your mat. Stretch the fingers away from the toes. Big breath in. And exhale, let it go. Awesome. Let's stretch out those hips a little bit. So bend the knees, soles of the feet onto the mat. Let your right leg rise. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Okay, to keep your right toes flexed. And then with your hands, you can keep them on either side of the hips. You can just focus on letting that right knee come towards the outer edge of the right corner of your mat. Or instead, you might float the left foot off the ground, using that right elbow to help gently open the hips and glutes on the right side. Okay, breathe here for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. And slowly release the left leg. Take your feet nice and wide, maybe mat width apart, and just windshield wipe the knees from side to side. Okay, from here, let the left leg rise up. Cross your left ankle over the right thigh. And again, just tuning in. Just notice what you notice. It might feel different. Not forcing the body in any position that doesn't feel comfortable or safe. If this is enough for today, stay here. Or if you prefer, interlace the hands. And use your breath. Oftentimes when there's tightness in one part of the body, other muscles tend to start to hold on as a way to increase our tolerance or compensate for that discomfort. See if you can notice if anything's working right now that doesn't need to. Notice if your jaw's clenched. Notice if that right leg is feeling stressed. See if you can relax your right ankle. And breathe here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the feet back down, about mat width apart. And again, windshield wipe the knees from side to side. And from here, let's send the feet up towards the sky. Just finding an L shape. You might rotate your ankles, rotate the wrists. Good. When it feels good, just release the hands back down to the mat and just rest here. If you'd like, this might be enough for today. If shoulder stand is in your practice and you'd like to try a shoulder stand today, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, you can stay in L shape just like this. For those of you who'd like to try shoulder stand, you squeeze your thighs together and then you bring your knees in towards your chest, lifting the hips. Walk the elbows in towards one another. Strong core. And breathe here for another 3. Another 2. And then slowly, mindfully, you're welcome to release whatever shape you're in, and then make your way to a happy baby. Just take your knees nice and wide. Take a hand to each knee. Or if you'd prefer, kick the heels up and reach for the inner or outer arches of the feet. And from here, we'll close our practice with a twist. So arms in a T shape, spread them nice and wide. Hands are about as high as the shoulders. Exhale, let the knees come over toward the right side of your mat. Your gaze might shift towards your left side. Right hand might come to the left knee. Breathing here. And just notice if your mind is wandering or becomes distracted. And see if you can bring that attention back to that singular point of focus. And as you're ready, we'll join back through center. And then exhale, knees over toward the left. And drawing right shoulder down if you choose to make the shape active. And then on an in-breath, coming back through center. Let's move in for one last hug. Bring the nose in toward the knees, knees towards the nose. And then on your exhale, letting it all go, finding your final resting shape, Shavasana. And for your final resting shape, you might be lying on the back, the side, child's pose. Just choose any shape that feels comfortable. The eyes might close. You might relax the jaw. And if you need more grounding, you might bring the left hand over the heart, right hand over the abdomen. And just settling into this shape, using this time to thank yourself for making space for practice today, acknowledging your intention, and thanking all the folks who shared in this practice. Now I invite you to remain in your final resting shape as long as you need today. There's no rush at all. Use this time to give your body whatever it needs, letting your nervous system absorb the benefits of your work. Again, I want to thank Sheridan College for giving me the opportunity to guide the last 3 weeks of practice, thanking all the folks who tuned in, and a gentle reminder to definitely take a little photo of yourself at some point during this practice. Tag the SSU for a chance to win $50. And again, my name is Alex. Namaste.